on my Instagram.
And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healing Element podcast. We are live. I am the creator and host of the Healing Element podcast, Kai Marie, and so thankful that you all have joining us tonight. I have a very special guest with me tonight, T.R Miles.
What's up, everybody?
Yes.
Hey,
so
Kai,
this
how
is
you
a
doing?
fun conversation tonight.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. It's been a challenging couple weeks, so I'm looking forward to just having an honest conversation tonight, but also one that is inspiring and also empowering for all of our listeners and people that are going to be watching us live. So a couple of things. If you are watching us live, please feel free to use the comments. If you have any questions, just go to the comment section and I will present the questions or comments that you have to our host tonight. Just wanted to let you guys know, if you are subscribed to the Healing Element Podcast YouTube channel, if you follow me on Kai Marie LLC Facebook page, now moving forward, every Tuesday night, I will be doing the Healing Element Podcast live. So that way it's more interactive. Feel free to tag a friend, join in on the conversation. I look forward to connecting with you all and just kind of create a little family here. Just so we can all support each other on our journey, whether it be healing or entrepreneurship. These are all different aspects of life that I'm sure that we can all use a little bit of support along the way. So tonight we're at 9. I just wanted to say really quick, starting December 1st, I'll be switching to 8 p.m. I'm taking a class right now, so everything had to shift for that. But we'll be at 8 p.m. So getting all the housekeeping out of the way, now getting to my guest that I'm so excited to have, Mr. T.R Miles in the house tonight.
Hi, thank you so much for having me tonight on your show. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. And thank you. And I'm honored and privileged to be your first guest live. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm excited. This is a long time coming. And those that are listening, you will understand why, the history that's here, of why this is really a special moment for both of us. So first, I just want to provide the bio so we know who we're talking to tonight. So T.R. Miles, born in Buffalo, New York, he is founder and CEO of the Miles Group Portfolio, Inc., a corporate and business development firm that creates, develops, and manages startups from various industries. Formerly a classically trained tenor, in 2010, T.R. Miles transitioned from singing to pursuing business full-time, gaining his education and professional experience from one of the largest epicenters of business, New York City.
Come on, New York.
T.R. Miles, his journey as a salesman in the luxury real estate market in Manhattan. He went on to attend his dream institution, New York University, and in 2015 received a BS in real estate development and finance.
Yes,
awesome,
come on.
Awesome.
Shout out NYU Vital Pride. Come on.
So what I briefly went over with your bio, there's so much more, and we'll unpack all of that. Before we do that, want to go into a little bit about the business that you have now, and then we'll kind of step back and see like how all of this came to be. So the Miles Group Portfolio, Inc. Let us know. Tell us a little bit. What is that? What do you do?
What do I do? Well, that's the question, right? I tell people in a nutshell, I create, develop, and manage companies from various industries. That is the gist of everything that I do. I literally took my ideas and turned them into companies. And I wasn't selfish. I said I want it all. So I said I was going to try it all. Why not? We got one life to live. Right. And so I decided to go after it. And so we create different industries different companies from different industries, apparel, real estate, music, publishing, media production, all of that. So we're working on a lot of stuff all at one time, but I'm having a ball and I'm a nervous wreck at the same time, but I love it. It's nerve-wracking, but I love it.
No, and we will get into the industries because I know that you have a lot going on right now. Just to let folks know a little bit, you're doing the luxury real estate and lifestyle. You have that firm, Fish Tanks Apparel, coaching solutions, entertainment. So we will get into that to break it all down. But why are we here today? So the title of our topic is manifesting your dream. How do you do that? And so you're going to share with us a little bit of background of what kind of led you to your journey of entrepreneurship. So to take a few steps back, because right now, right, everybody sees where you're at now and they see the beautiful website, which scrolling at the bottom, those that are watching, you can see the T.R Miles' website. And so that way you can go check it out. Make sure you subscribe.
Yes,
and so
please.
when you now doing what you're doing, can you take us back to when you first realized that you wanted to enter into the world of entrepreneurship?
You know what? It was funny. I kind of fell into it. I had a ministry background in church. For those that know me in Buffalo, I had a ministry background. So I was singing, growing up in church, singing in Buffalo. Shout out to my city, talented city, some of the best singers, some of the best musicians in Buffalo and just my hometown. So I grew up actually doing that mostly. And then during the course of ministry, got into a little preaching, public speaking, which I enjoyed. I ended up in, of course, like different situations, just dreaming about more in life a little bit. I started really young, I would say, writing some things. And that was because I took the time to read a lot as a young person. I would say that even as a young adult, I wasn't reading a lot of like fiction. I was reading a lot of self-help books just because I was so faith-based. And I enjoyed people like Les Brown, Brian Tracy, and Bob Proctor, and all these people that we talk about for like the law of attraction. I actually was attracted to those people. And so I remember there were times when even at home in Buffalo, I was sitting watching New York shows like we all do sometimes. You know, when you're away, you're dreaming, you see New York City and you're like, man, I would love to be there one day just to see if I could make it and see if I could really survive. And it just happened that years later, it didn't even happen right away. I just kept thinking about it. I kept thinking I could get here. I kept thinking and dreaming that I could find a way to get here. Little did I know that the universe heard me and God heard me, and he was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Wow. And so when you were in Buffalo, did you and you had I'll say dreams of something bigger. At that point, who knows what? Did you feel that in order for that to come to pass, kind of whatever that was, that you had to go to a bigger city? Was it? And did you feel that New York City was it?
At the time, you know, Buffalo is the second largest city in New York State, right? So we got a lot of people, you know, but at the same time, I knew that I wanted bigger, and I knew that New York City gave the challenges that people needed to either make or break them, right? And so, like I said, I was really up for that challenge. I had always dreamed, and I said, what if I could start a business as a Black man in New York City and actually succeed? You know, one of the most craziest epicenters, expensive. You already know. Yes. Come on now. I know you're in Charlotte, but you know.
That's why I had to leave.
I'm telling you, this rent.
That is the whole paycheck city right there.
You already know, right? Starting a business. And I was like, it had to be crazy, right? Because I said, why am I going to New York City with nothing? I don't have a job. I don't have this, and this. All I got is this dream, and all I have is this passion to do something bigger. And so I knew I wanted to start something big in New York City. And I also wanted to go to school. I had written down NYU with my friend, shout out Cherie, on a presentation on PowerPoint years before I got there. I just put a picture of it. I said, I would love to go to NYU. I said, I don't know how I'm gonna get there or afford it, but I said, I would love to do that. So I just kept dreaming that. And my friends, some of my friends were thinking that too. They were like, we want to move to New York. Buffalo is small, but it's still large in talent. But I really believe that God had a different plan for me in just stretching me to different regions because I had to get out of my comfort zone. You know, I needed a new challenge, and New York City presented that. So I was on my way. I had it in my mind that I wanted to live here. I didn't know how long. I didn't know I would still be here, and I'm still here. Shout out Inwood, where I live now. But I knew I wanted to be here, and I knew New York City had something for me if I didn't give up, because I was already getting these, you can't do it, that's expensive, you can't afford it, you're going to struggle. I knew I was going to struggle, not to the degree that I didn't, I did. To be honest with you, and some people know my story, but I did struggle. But you know what? I bounced back because I knew I had it in me,
Mm-hmm.
and things began to manifest once I didn't give up. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
so glad that I never gave up. And there were times even when I had to go back home on my journey and regroup and do
Mm-hmm.
things. And I had the voices, you're a failure, you're this, you're not going to make it, this. I had to
Right.
shut them out. I was literally a janitor at my church at one time, again, when I came
Wow.
back home, and
Mm-hmm.
God like humbled me. And I remember that season because I needed to just really process some things in my mind. And when I processed it, I humbled myself and said, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm going to have a better attitude about life going forward, period, no matter what I go through. Right. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I did that, when I shifted my attitude, things began to shift for me a lot better in my direction and in my favor. So New York City definitely is making and made and is making me still.
No, and I think the thing that you're saying that is so important for people, whether you're pursuing a dream, maybe it's entrepreneurship, maybe it's something
Yeah.
different. And even though you have that vision, right? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you created a vision board, or you just have a vision that you've created for yourself for that thing that you want to accomplish. Even though you have it written down, posted somewhere, it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that you won't face challenges along the way. But the
exactly.
beautiful thing is those challenges are helping to prepare you for what you're going to be doing. So it's going to be those challenges is working through your character, working
Right.
through things, that self doubt that maybe that you had, working
Yeah.
on stuff for me personally, things from childhood started coming up. So I was like, oh, I got to work
Mm-hmm.
what's
I got
that
to deal with that. I
about?
got to deal
Yeah,
with it.
exactly. So you
Yeah,
get challenged in every area of your life, but it only makes you better at your craft.
that's
Would
right.
you agree with that?
I would agree. I would agree. I think everything sharpens us. It comes to sharpen you, right? You have this goal, you have a destiny. We don't know really how to get there. We have an image. We think we know how. We don't know some
Mm-hmm.
of the things, the people, the circumstances, the setbacks, the rejections, these things that we go through on our journey to get to what we envision and what we see. I had a whole vision in my mind, like high rise. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But then I was sleeping on somebody's couch. Is this how it starts? Shout out to
Right.
Alex Caballos, one of my best friends. His birthday, want to give him a shout out. He let me sleep on his couch for years, and I appreciated him because he believed in me. But at the same time, it was so awesome how things began to connect. Again, when I say don't give up, because I could have just given up and not really stayed in the city. I could have given up and say, no, I'm just going to go back home. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not making any money right now. I'm not doing well financially to
Mm-hmm.
get to my dreams. And it was one day at my church, my old church, I was exiting out of ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my pastors, she said, God showed me you're going to do well in real estate. And I was like, I ain't never did real estate in my life. What you talking about
Uh-huh.
now? What you talking about with
Right.
me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so she had seen me like the salesperson, and I was like, I mean, I could talk a little bit. I can talk and do some things, but I was like, I'd never done any real estate. Kai, when I actually took her for her word, because I had to end the internship
Uh-huh.
miraculously. It's like God used shut it down. It was shut down for a while, and I said, well, what am I gonna do now? And she's like, you should
Mm-hmm.
get your real estate license. And I was like, okay, I would just trust it. Kai, I failed the test the first time.
Wow.
I was like, this ain't for me. This is
Uh-huh.
not for me. I don't think I'm a singer. I am not a businessman like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, no, don't give up. You can do this. And
Yeah.
so it was a learning curve for me stepping out of what I had known from ministry and from a faith-based background, doing what I was doing in an internship, and then shifting into sales and negotiations and contracts and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But how
Mm-hmm.
good and awesome is God? And that what happened was once I got into real estate, though I had failed, I actually passed the test. I went back,
Mm-hmm.
passed it, and I
Mm-hmm.
ended up closing two major deals at the firm I was at.
Uh,
And in those two deals, I met my mentor, a hedge fund owner who literally poured into me and mentored me on how to understand finances. And he gave me the
mm-hmm.
example of owning companies and multiple companies when I
Mm-hmm.
first started. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was my example going through school. This man was very pivotal in my life, and I just want to thank him too. I ain't gonna name his name, but he know who he is, and maybe he'll listen to this one day. I appreciate him because he one day let me go. He was like, I'm going to mentor you, but then I'm going to let you fly. I said, because you remind me of myself when I was in school, when I was in finance school. And this is when I was still doing real estate and going to NYU at the same time. And he said, you remind me of me, I'm going to let you fly. So he kind of let me go after a while and let me fly. And it was it was hurtful at first because I was like, what am I going to do, right, without my mentor? And then it was helpful after that because I needed to not hold on to him any longer. It was time for me to learn how to fly in a city that I knew I was called to, but how am I going to do it my way? And I knew that's what he was looking for me to reach down deep in to get that perseverance to say, I feel like you can be successful. He already even told me that. He said, you're going to be successful. You're going to be very successful, but you're going to have to learn your own lessons in business. And I appreciate him this day to that. Thank you so much for those lessons. It was a hard lesson for me, but I learned it. I ended up, it's so funny, in school, I ended up sitting next to one of our good friends who connected us to our job. You know what I'm saying? And then these people and certain things in our lives just began to shape me into the businessman I am today, you know, and it was sitting next to her in class where I had gotten the idea of the Miles Group portfolio. Because at first I was just going to start a real estate company, and I started doing well in real estate and believing in myself and closing good deals. And then I wanted more. I wanted more. And there was a class I took on business organization at NYU that showed me how holding companies and how certain companies came to be about under conglomerates. And I wanted that. I said, well, why couldn't I do that for myself and my family? Why can't I do what Procter and Gamble or these people are doing, Johnson and Johnson and all these companies? I said, I got to think a little bit bigger. And so what I began to do was every talent that I had, every dream that I had, I literally turned them into companies. And I literally took my time to learn how to streamline them, how to organize them with organizational abilities as far as leadership and processes. And I'm still doing that today.
And you know what, the thing that you've laid out is that a lot of times we look at like an Amazon, right? I'll use it as examples. Everyone's familiar. They'll look at kind of where it is now, where Jeff Bezos is now, but all of the sacrifice that led up to where it stands right now. And so the thing about you, or both of us, is that we've been on this journey together. And we were there talking about business plan and talking about all the sacrifices, and you sharing right now all the sacrifices that you've made to start your own business, going against maybe the doubt that you had about your abilities, but also voices that other people are like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And just staying focused on what you need to do and not allow the other chatter to be a distraction to what you wanted to accomplish. And I think that's so important for those that are listening. If you have a dream, if you have a vision that you want to do, and you're like, I have this in my heart, I wake up thinking about it, I go to bed thinking about it.
Eat, sleep, breathe a dream.
You know, then you pour your all into it. And, you know, there will be people that will provide some constructive, maybe advice to give to you to say, you know, maybe you should make these changes and make a adjustment. So, you know, always listen, but at the end of the day, really make sure that you're allowing your inner person to be that compass of directing you where you need to go. And so on your journey, was that something that you had to navigate a lot through? I know you did touch upon it, just kind of working through your own feelings of, can I do this? But also, you know, from other people, maybe kind of telling you as well, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
A job. And why are you in New York City?
I talk to myself like that too. Yes. I walk down the street like, what is you doing? What is going? You know, you got that self-talk sometimes. You talk, I can do this. I know. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. You're talking back and forth to yourself, right? And so I do that. I did that self-talk. One day I remember God speaking to me, and I say God. People say the universe. I say God. I love God and the universe because I believe they're all encompassed. And I said, he said to me, trust yourself and trust where you're going. Don't look at the trials. Don't look at the situations. Trust where you're going. Sometimes we just don't have enough confidence in ourselves and believe in ourselves enough, right? I believe that once we get to a level of that breaking point where things get so tough, that's when you need to trust yourself even the more, right? Trust your gifts. Trust your path, trust where you're going. God will always lead you, and like he'll tell you, don't go this way, don't go that way. And even if we do mess up, and I have failed and messed up many times, there are ways to get back on track, right? And so I trusted myself. I started to really like research. When I wanted something, I researched it. I said, I'm going to learn how to run an apparel company. I'm going to learn. I started an apparel company with one of my classmates in NYU. Shout out Fish. Shout out Alex, our managing director, chief logistics officer, everything. I wrote it down, and I want to encourage people, like, writing something down, writing your dreams out on journals. I have over 20, 30, 40 of these journals that I have written and filled. And anybody can actually, that knows me closely, that have seen me, I write in journals every day. And I literally sometimes write the same thing over and over again. And that seems crazy at times too. But every time I write it, something else comes to me that didn't come to me before. Something else manifests, something else materializes, a new process, a new way of doing things, a thought, an idea for any of my companies. And so I started to trust my vision. I started to trust and have confidence in myself. And I kept listening to people in my ear that were encouraging me, like Brian Tracy, Les Brown. I kept reinforcing that on purpose, because I could allow other people to come into me and tell me, no, I'm already over here going through self-doubt already. So I had to counteract those thoughts. And I did that through great preaching and great faith. Cindy Trim is one of my favorite faith leaders, and she is a multi-millionaire businesswoman as well, you know, and she really nails in on believing in your vision, and believing in where God's taking you, and believing that you have the gifts to bring you to your next level, you know. So I said, Tremont, even on this couch, you better write. Even as you sleeping on someone's couch, you better believe. Every time you can cry today, but you better get up and believe tomorrow.
Right. No, that's so true.
You got to, because there's going to be many times you're going to be challenged on your journey.
Right. And that's the thing. So even though you have the talent, you have the gift, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It's going to, it's all a process. And when we used to work together, we were at the very beginning stages of the process. And so that's why, for those that are joining us tonight, that this is such a, this is so awesome, because this is something that we talked about for years, about building our own business, and then needing to start over. And wondering how are we going to pay for all this?
How are we going to do this in New York?
How are we going to do this? And work full time. And work. And the positions that we had, very stressful. Long hours. And I know that sometimes we would say, we were up till the wee hours of the morning working on a business plan, trying to find the right thing. Yes. And so for those that are listening, don't give up. As you've been saying, keep pressing forward. And also surround yourself with people that can also support you and encourage you along the way. Was that something that was helpful? I know you said the folks that you listened to, like Les Brown. Did you also have to maybe make adjustments to your circle at all to, you know, for people to really just kind of help ground you into driving this this thing forward to manifesting what you wanted?
Yeah, you know, so funny. I thank you for being in my circle. And, you know, my circle of friends are actually pretty ambitious at that, actually, too. And the ones that came from Buffalo, Faith, Jeremy, they're all ambitious. Alex is very ambitious. It was, I thank God for that, because I was around people all the time that sharpened me, right? They're doing things. And then the people that weren't, they kind of just edged out, because I didn't, no offense, I just didn't have time. I was, I was so busy building that it didn't even faze me that they had moved over and shifted. But maybe I didn't shift them. Maybe just maybe it manifested that way. Maybe the universe manifests things where it shifts you into a new level. And when you begin to believe in your vision, it shifts you into that new vision, right? It shifts you into a new circle. I went from one circle to a circle with a hedge fund as a mentor. That's a different realm for me. That's a different level of finance. It's a different level of money. That's a different level of thinking that I had to learn that I was not used to. I went from, you know, sleeping on couches to talking to CFOs and CEOs and COOs. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a different level now. And so I'm staying there. I ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
We paid the price to get to these levels. And so this is what I asked for when I wanted the business. I didn't know that the universe would shift more leaders into my life that understood what it takes to be a COO and a CFO and a CEO. I needed to see those examples. And so I was in a place now in my life that I was able to see those examples right in front of me. And so I say, you know what? This is supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be around these people. I'm supposed to do this. And so, Tremone, get comfortable, start learning, grow, and suck it all and learn it all. Learn all that you can. Don't take these people for granted, because these people have worked hard as well. They've gone through what they've gone through to get here, and they have something to offer you, because you have somewhere to get to as well. And then I have a responsibility to the next generation after me, you know? So it was that. My circle
and I know
shifted.
that and that's, again, that shows that growth, that shows the change in mindset, and all of that's happening when you're walking closer and closer to manifesting that which you desire. There's always that shifting that occurs, and sometimes it can be uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, it's worth it, because you're seeing all that, your blood, sweat, and tears. You're starting to see things starting to come together and start to take shape. So when you had this dream of putting together your business, you did talk a little bit about kind of putting everything, all your interest into kind of like one umbrella, putting all of it under one umbrella. Can you talk to us a little bit about that process?
You know, it's funny because every business is different. So I have every story is almost different. It's so funny. Like Fish Tanks Apparel came with one of my friends at NYU who was on a hockey team, and we became friends. We both Pisces. We both born in the same month, so we end up bumping each other through one of my friends in real estate, because he happened to be on the hockey team. And so thank God for them. I actually ended up staying on their couch for a few weeks, for a few months, and they blessed me to stay there. And it didn't happen till 3 years later, because I had left NYU, right? But we had went to a Wiz Khalifa concert, and me, him, and Alex, and we were just singing "We Them Boys." That was our favorite song back in the day, like 2015, back in the day, college time. And so we had that.
I feel so old now. Back in the day. Oh, I'm frozen on my end. Sorry, guys, I'm frozen on my end. Let's see here, because I'm frozen. Let's see. Sorry, guys, 1 second. I'm frozen. Let me see if I can. So hopefully you all are enjoying our conversation tonight. I think we lost our signal, so we'll be back. TR, he'll be back on shortly. So for those that are joining us, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it, and let me know in the chat box. Do you feel inspired by our conversation tonight? Is it, do you feel that you can, push forward with dreams that you have, with the vision that you have for your life? And also, are you kind of understand the importance of having that supportive circle around you, and how it's critical to have people that can support what you have, the dreams that you have for your life? And as I have learned on my journey, it is good to listen to people that may not fully understand it to a certain extent, because that can help you maybe maybe streamline or make sure your message is a little bit more concise. So, people just use wisdom, use that inner voice to kind of help guide you, to make sure that you're not getting so distracted or so discouraged, but that you are able to pursue what you want, but do it in a way that is that's extremely helpful. So I am just going to send Tremone a quick message to see what is going on with the feed. Let's see. I think we may be having some tech issues. Attitude and a connection to the universe is critical to manifesting our dreams. It's so true. We have to speak that what we want to accomplish. As Tremone had said, he's going to be logging back in soon. As he said, he would write his vision down. The vision that he had, he would write that down. For me, I do vision boards. Every year. I do a vision board of what I want to accomplish for the year. And that kind of helps me to stay focused, to make sure that, if I find myself wasting time or going down the rabbit hole of social media, I'm like, wait a second, there's a lot I wanted to accomplish this year. Is this something that what I'm doing right now, is it helping me to bring about those things that I want to see happen in my life? And if it's not, then I need to stop what I'm doing. So doing a vision board, that's important. And actually, I do wellness happy hours with Chevelle Maven. She's CEO and founder of Addiction Prevention. So we do happy hours the last Thursday of every month. And we're actually going to be talking about vision boards this Thursday. So you guys come right back here this Thursday. We're going to be talking about vision boards because we're going to have a virtual vision board party. So these are all things to help us stay focused and to really make sure that we live the life we want to live. There's a lot of challenges that we're all facing. So if there's certain things that we can control and there's certain things we cannot control. So things that we can control, we want to make sure that we're doing what we can do to make the best life that we can. Meditation and removing toxic people out of your life. Yes, that's so important, to remove toxic people out of your life. You have to work through enough self-doubt on your own, right? When you're looking to venture out on your own. So you don't want people that are pouring negativity and toxic thoughts into you. You want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with positive folks, but who are realists, right? Because you also want someone who's holding you accountable. You want to make sure that, you have, I think that's another thing that's extremely important. Make sure you have like an accountability partner that's like, are you setting your benchmarks? Are you pushing forward? As Tremone said, when he was sleeping on a couch or whatever, like having that person like, nope, pick yourself back up, get back out there, dust yourself back off. That's all important. Has your vision boards worked over time? Yes, my vision boards have worked. Like I said, if I don't accomplish everything on my board, and if you guys do vision boards, let me know in the chat. It's not so much, am I accomplishing every single thing on the vision board? Although that is the goal, life happens. But I look at it as, am I on the right path? Because sometimes you can put something on your vision board that over time, through your growth throughout that year, it could change. So you have to make adjustments. So leave room for those adjustments, because there may be something starting off that you're like, this is what I want to do. But maybe through growth, through other changes, you had to make adjustments. So always allow for that type of flexibility, especially when it relates to maybe building a business. Your health, you want to make sure that you focus in on that. But sometimes you have to make those adjustments. And one thing that could be helpful for you guys, if you're looking to do kind of like writing your vision, maybe instead of just doing a big board for 2021, you can say, you know what, I'm going to do a vision board and have a theme with it. And so that could be helpful as well. So do whatever you can do to help make sure that you're empowering yourself, that you're, sometimes you got to be your own cheerleader. So just make sure that you're, keep yourself really lifted up, because pursuing your dreams and going after that which you really want can be a challenge. So I just want to check. Well, I think he's trying to get back on. So I guess there was a tornado in New York City. yesterday, so he may have a little trouble logging back in. So we still have some people are watching. Let me know your thoughts so far. Is this your first time checking out the Healing Element podcast? Like I said, we will be live moving forward. So I look forward to kind of building a family here. And if this is your first time joining us, the Healing Element podcast focuses on healing from intergenerational and historical trauma, and just kind of beginning your healing process so that way you can really live the life you want and break any cycles of pain and trauma that may have been in your family. We can all be cycle breakers. So, there are many cycles of trauma and pain, and we can definitely break those cycles and create cycles of healing. And that's what this podcast is all about. Let's see here, guys. I hope we can get Tremone back on. Give me 1 second. I heard there was is anybody joining from New York City? I heard it was some crazy weather. I heard it was some crazy weather yesterday. All right, let me see, guys. I'm going to take a mini little break here just to see if I can get Tremone back on, and I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. Let's see. Okay, I'll be right back.
Kai. Hold on.
I got scared for a minute. I said, "Wait, I'm gonna have to go to New York City."
Let
to
me
start
tell
this
you,
podcast
when you
back up
start,
again.
no, this is what happens when you start doing things and you start manifesting. You start up, this craziness starts to happen.
Right.
I was like, let's see if we can get through the podcast without an interruption. Let's see if somebody gonna get mad about what we're talking about.
But you know what the thing is? Our life has proven that we can't be stopped.
Oh man, come on! I was like, please, come on, please. That's a thing. We got other items. We got other devices. You can't stop us.
Yes. No, we're gonna keep going. So we got you back.
We did have a tornado we never have tornadoes in New York City, but it definitely blew some things over. So I'm wondering if it's just the cables out there. But I'm gonna stick with you, and hopefully, I'm sorry, guys, forgive. And we're gonna keep it moving.
We keep it pushing. This is what entrepreneurship is all about, right? I was up here talking. Everybody's probably wondering, like, I wish he would get back on so she would stop.
No,
I was talking about vision boards.
I know you held it down. So sorry about that.
No, I'm glad to have you back. So really quick, we're just talking about like kind of what, for people that were joining for the first time, we're talking about what this podcast is. So Greg West, he's been a huge supporter. I'm going to actually have him on the podcast soon, and just talking about the importance of healing for trauma. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone that stayed with me while we waited for our special guest to come back. Because I know they were like, Lord, can somebody call New York City?
I know they mad. They mad out there. The enemy can't hold us down. We're blessed. No matter what, we're blessed.
We are.
That's how we know we're going in the right direction, and your show is going to be successful, period.
Yes, it is. And so I want to tell everyone that, it's so special, unique when you see something growing, right? When you see, so for TR and I, we talked about this moment right here for so long, and it seems so far away. And even though we're still in the early stages of our business, this is still a manifestation that has occurred. And so I just, again, the purpose of this session tonight, or this episode tonight, is to really just kind of pour out inspiration to those that are listening, and for you to feel that you're empowered, that you can pursue. Because I know 2020 has been a challenging year for many people. And so we just wanted to kind of bring to you something to inspire you, a message to inspire you. And, so many times us working together, we be in there singing, listen, you got one more time to talk to me.
You got
one more time. But then we're like, no, we got to keep working because we got to pay the bills to build a business. So exactly. So before we got disconnected, you were sharing with us about how the process of building your business, because you have many different businesses that fit under the Miles Group. So tell us about those businesses. How did you come up with the name? Tell us a little bit about that whole process.
Yeah, I was going to say, like with fish tanks, my co-founder's name is Curtis Fisher, right? And so, like I said, we became really close friends in college at NYU. And it didn't happen until years later. I actually, 3 years later, 2017, he was still in school. I was just working full time, just trying to figure things out still. Something came to me. I was writing something down, and I knew, I was in the gym working out. I'm still getting, we on quarantine now, don't judge me, y'all.
I know.
We still working a little bit, but working in the house. But at the time, I was getting more into fitness and things like that. And he was doing hockey and everything like that as well. And so he had graduated and went back home to California. And one day I had approached him and I said, you know what? I know we talked about this idea. We were talking one day, just hanging out at the house years ago, about like t-shirts and designs on t-shirts. I said, but what if it is meant for us to do something bigger? I said, I got this idea and it got your name in it. It's Fish Tanks Apparel.
Wait, back up. I got this idea with your name.
Get your name in it.
So you're going to be in this business. You don't know about it yet.
You don't know about it, but you're going to love it. So that's how Fish Tanks Apparel was born. He ended up having a printing press in his house. He had a screen printing machine in his home already because his mom was already doing so. I said, yo, let's just take that and let's just start where we are. I said, we can do phase 1 of the tanks just with that and get some tank tops and just really work it. And then we can literally go into production and do like the text of it and do a production pack and like really take our product to the next level in the phase 2. And so we just stepped out on faith and we did it. We formed our company, and I said, let's create a dope theme, a theme of underwater kind of creativity, but let's make it fun, not just for adults, but for kids. And so we came up with, of course, fish tanks. We just used the whole sea and ocean. I was literally up watching the planet Earth and stuff, watching the ocean movies on corals and fishes under the sea, thinking like what I could use as creativity to make my characters. So I came up with Flex the fish and Onyx the octopus and other characters that we have. And not only that, Kai, from that point, we had started just, once my mind gets going, it does not stop. I'm just like writing stuff down. So out of that, we made a comic book, we made a blog, we made tanks, we started thinking about other ideas and an expansion plan. And I said, listen, we can do all these things, but let's just start with these tanks and get them. So we got the tanks, the comic books, some other stuff, but we're working really hard to launch our first line and collection. Spring of 2021, Fish Tanks Apparel will be on the market. You can catch us out on Instagram at Fish Tanks Apparel. And for the other companies, literally things began to fall in my lap as, like I said, I use my gifts and ideas. So like with coaching, I already speak, things like that. I had already tried to be a life coach years ago and it just didn't work, wasn't the time. And so I'm happy to say that I just graduated life coaching school last week. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, he got it. He finished what he started. Okay. Coaching came because I knew I wanted to inspire people outside and just expand my vision. I said, well, why don't you start a coaching firm? That not only helps individuals, but businesses, C-suite, executives, etc. And so I'm proud to say that we're launching that as well. That's in the works. That's T.R Miles Coaching Solutions. And
Mm-hmm.
like I just began to like really become like a branding guy. Like for some reason, I
Yeah.
had never had a background in branding, Kai, but
Mm-hmm.
I had begun to just think of all these colors, these ideas, like what if we did this here, the logos, and then not just that, but the processes. Like I was really into process improvement and really into writing down how my vision would flow and how the businesses would run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so TRM's Coaching Solution was created. I created the Red Agency was created. That was my first baby, actually. While I
I
was a
remember.
startup,
I remember.
that was my first
Yeah.
baby. Yep, the Red
Mm-hmm.
Agency. That's when I had the idea to combine luxury real estate with lifestyle management. And now we're taking it a step further. We're going to create an app. So we're excited about that next year and getting that on the market. But that came from my love of like real estate in New York City. And for me wanting to help my clients to
Mm-hmm.
have a better experience as well. Because one of my clients at one time had asked me, "Hey, we're new to the city. Can you take us around? Can you do this?" I was like, "Well,
Uh-huh.
man, I don't really take people. I just show you houses. I don't really like take you to restaurants and all these other things." But something said, "Why can't you do that? Why can't you
Mm-hmm.
offer the service?" Right? Processes, plans became to come in, formed the Red Agency. My music entertainment companies is something that I just love to do that I just keep in the back burner until it's ready. And the thing is, I'm a startup founder because a lot of these are still in incubation mode. And so they're in
Mm-hmm.
startup mode even still. But what's so awesome about it is that I'm having so much fun putting them together and
Mm-hmm.
getting the puzzle pieces right, getting them wrong and getting
Right.
it right, getting this piece wrong and getting it
Mm-hmm.
right. And so I
Mm-hmm.
literally took the time, saved the money, formed the companies, a corporation for the Miles Group portfolio. It's a C Corp. All my other companies are formed as LLCs in New York City and in LA for
Mm-hmm.
fish tanks. And I just began to run and see my company as a holding company and as that corporate development structure. And so once they started coming out, it literally began to form. It began to form. And it's scary because I was like, how is this happening? I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how this is forming the way it is. These were ideas that I just wrote down one day that are literally coming off the page and coming into manifestation. And even years later, when I could have given up on them, and people said it's not going to work, I said it's going to work. I said I believe that every business that I have in my portfolio will work. It may not work the way I thought it would work the first time, but there's always re-strategy and reconstruction. I can always come back and do it differently because I believe God gave me them for a reason, and I ain't gonna never go up on my babies ever.
You better tell it. And you know
Come on
what
now.
you said is so important because when we first met, I had the business KMT Wellness. I
Yes.
had that with
Remember, yes.
Dwayne, my fiance. That's what we had
Shout out
initially.
Dwayne.
Yes, he is. I would not be sitting here today if
Yes.
it was not for his support.
Shout out my husband Roshane too. I love
Yes, right.
yes.
Yes, the support system, right? It's so
Yes. Support
important
system.
to have a partner
Partners.
that supports you and is there for
Mhm.
you. Because I don't know, everything that I end up doing publicly, I have so many conversations with Dwayne beforehand. To the
Yeah.
point where Dwayne could probably come out here and say, listen, this is what she's gonna say, this is what we do. I already know because went over this with me. I don't
Yes.
know how
Yes.
many times. But that's so important to have a partner. So
Yes.
Dwayne, you're listening. Thank you. I
Shout
couldn't
out.
do this
Shout out our
without you.
partners. Yes.
Yes, right. And so when you were saying as far as now that I got sidetracked because I'm so appreciative.
It's okay. It's
Um,
good. Gratitude. Gratitude. We're
so
thankful.
much gratitude, right?
Yes.
So with you putting your businesses together and focusing in on that, getting the colors that you wanted together,
Mhm.
and now having the website up. What kind of space are you in now? Like now, seeing your website up, getting the clients. Like now, the pieces starting to come together.
It's
What
scary,
are your
guys. It's
thoughts
scary.
now?
We're in business now. It's scary. These were ideas I just had that I trusted myself with. And now I'm in the space of what do we got to do to keep improvement, Tremont? What do you want to do now to get to the next level? What is
Mhm.
phase one of your portfolio? So phase one is the first four companies. What are you going to do to take them to the next level? What are we going to do
Mhm.
next year? What's the plan? Literally, I have plans written out 5, 10 years from now of what I want to
Good.
do with my firms. Like I
Right.
literally give myself that expanse in time because though it may not happen the way I want, at least I have a trajectory of where I'm trying to get to, right? And
Right.
so, like next year, like the Red Agency, we didn't even think about it becoming like more tech based, but now we're going to
Mhm.
develop an app, And so that came as just something that we had to shift with the market, shift with the times. shift of what was going on. And so we said, we're going to take that and we're going to make it even doper than what we did, the experience. And so all my companies right now are in a place of still process improvement, still get the money, still pour the money back in that you get back into the business, put that money back and make it better. Find out what's not working and make it better. That's where I'm at now, because I really want to have not just companies, but excellent companies. I want to have integral companies. I want to have companies that people are proud of, my family's proud of, I'm proud of, mostly, and that I want people to see that you can do what you want to do. You can do and live your vision. And I feel like I am just now getting to the place where I'm living my vision, and it feels amazing.
Yes. And and it just, when you said something, and it popped back in my head what I wanted to bring up. When I first met, I was doing KMT Wellness. And at that point, I didn't really have the entrepreneurship or business mind. And so when you said sometimes take a step back, sometimes you do have to take a step back to go forward, because you can't operate in a space of, even though we do want to help people, right? But you have to have that business mindset. So for me, taking that step back meant we had to close KMT Wellness, and that was hard because that was the first baby. I was emotional. It was very challenging. Yeah. But sometimes, as you've said on your journey, sometimes it is taking a step back so that way you can regroup, refocus. And so now where I am, I know that if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be prepared to hold the space that I do now.
Yes. And it's even bigger and better now. You see that, right? Like, you trusted yourself. And now you have a YouTube page coming. You got so many things happening, and this blog happening. Everything is happening because you trusted yourself and you did not give up, even when you had to regroup. And I remember what's going out talking about walking to Essex and just like, Kai, it ain't working. Kai, I ain't got no money. Kai, I'm in debt. Kai.
Because the bills just keep coming in. It's like, if I could get one client,
just to get the bills, just get something going out.
Pay one bill.
Just one, right? So we understood that in the beginning we had to go through those growing pains. I guess the growing pains of being an early entrepreneur, early founder, early startup founder, and especially that we did it in such a city that most people would be like, you know what, I'm out of here now. But you stayed the test, and you know what, you regrouped, you came better, and now you've expanded, and now you're at Charlotte, you're doing your thing. You'll have other locations. You'll be doing amazing. And
you better tell it.
Come on now, because you had to regroup.
Right, exactly. And so for those that are listening, I know we're starting to come to end of our time tonight, but for those that are listening and who maybe they had a tough year, right? Because I'll be honest with you, opening up, reestablishing myself as a business owner in the midst of a pandemic.
Come on, Kai. I know.
Because I had it all planned out. I was going to go to networking events and meet people. I'm in a new city, and coronavirus hit, and that shut everything down. Everything is strictly online. Right. And so for those that are, watching today or listening and say, listen, I do have this dream, this vision of maybe having my own business. What words do you want to give to them? What can you pull from your story, your experience that you can share with them tonight?
Yeah, totally. For them that are desiring just to step out, first of all, you have to step out. You have to believe in yourself. And if you really called that be in business, the universe will push you to get to that place. Trust me. You have to write things down, like we talked about. I believe that's one of the keys that definitely helped me. And if you really have a vision, research it. Research the vision. Research what you want to do. And then believe in yourself that you can do it and get there. And believe you can get there your way. Right? We don't always have to take the same path everybody else takes. What makes a great entrepreneur great is that they have a different path that maybe somebody else didn't take. And I have a different path that this person didn't go through, right? And I'm okay with that. The worst times are going to be the best times sometimes, because you're going to realize they were meant to shape and sharpen you as an entrepreneur. And you have to kind of realize that entrepreneurship is just not about making money. It's about also forming you as the leader you're called to be, because people are looking at you. And so don't just come into this game just trying to make a coin. Come into the game trying to change lives, trying to do something different, trying to manifest something great. The money will come once you manifest something great. It took me 4 years sometimes to even get contracts and people doing things and wanting to work with my companies. But now things are starting to come in monthly, weekly, opportunities that I never thought about. Like, wow, this is happening. And I finished life coaching school. I'm in magazines now. Like, this is like, wow, this is different. So trust yourself on your journey. Never give up and believe that you're going to get there, and you're going to get there.
Right. Sure. And so if people want to, now I know after listening to this, somebody's going to want you to come and speak at some event. I know that for sure. Yeah, that's everything has to be virtual now. So if people want to get in contact with you, I did put your website in the chat box. So those that are viewing right now, please check out the milesgroup.portfolio.com. Go there and you can find all the different businesses that we've talked about this evening. So if people want to see your social media, can you throw out your handle so that way people can connect?
Yeah, social media is at @TR Miles on Instagram. You can just put in TR Miles. It should pop up. I with the red coat on, smile and turn and look at my face over this way. I'm going to be launching a blog soon, the Miles Minutes. The blog was something that I wanted to do that I wanted to expand, because we just had a couple blog pages on the website before talking about stuff. And something in me, of course, my crazy self, why can't we make it bigger? Let's just make it into a full site. Yeah. So we're launching the Miles Minutes. So at the Miles Minutes on Instagram, we're on Facebook. It's just getting started, so there's just a few things up, but we will be launching soon and we'll be moving. And I'm looking forward to this next season, because now I'm ready to engage. I'm ready to get out there in the media. I'm ready to do some more things. I'm ready to write my book and get that published.
You got to come back and talk about the book. We didn't talk about the book. Do you want to talk a little bit about it right now?
Well, yeah, I have a book. It's called Intentional Action that I'm working on, and it's about rediscovering and reaching your purpose on purpose for you. So basically, it's saying, what are you doing to get to your purpose? What are you doing to get to your own destiny? What are you waiting for? Right? Sometimes we wait for people to inspire, to help us to get to places, but what are you doing to actually reach your own destiny? Procrastination. Brian Tracy wrote a great book called Eat That Frog, How to Kill Procrastination in Your Life. That really changed my life, and that's made me the productive person I am today. That 9 to 5 and then that 5 to 9 a.m. kind of person, still moving no matter what. I had to do that even while I was going through my emotions. I had to do that even when things didn't work out the way I wanted to. So Intentional Action should be out next year, I pray, because that after life coaching school, I'm tired, but I'm still ready.
Well, thank you so much. I would love to have you back on when your book is out.
Thank you. And congratulations to you. I'm so proud of you, sis. And I can't wait to see what's going to continue to manifest for you. I know it's going to be awesome. You're rocking out now.
Thank you. So you hold on for 1 second while we close off here. So everyone, please make sure you go to the milesgroup.portfolio.com. Yes. Check out his work. I'm telling you guys, you're not going to want to miss. You said the Miles Minute, right?
Yeah, the Miles Minute podcast, social media, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. A photo gallery. We're doing it all. Articles, all of that.
Beautiful. So please make sure you check that out. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight, joining live. Thank you for the engagement. Again, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it. Make sure you share with friends, people that are maybe going through some tough times, and maybe there's a word in here of inspiration for them. So I will be back here Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for another interview. I will be posting who I will be interviewing. So you guys make sure you stay tuned for that, and have a good night.
Have a good night. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Kai.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second.